And for a top of 39 degrees, currently 24. Don't forget, after 7 o'clock, 7 at 7, the all-time top 7 Eagles, top 7 Dockers. It's been hard to do. And we've also got our golf box quiz. And all you have to do is call 13 12 55 to register. The first question, the game in the AFL is to set down for tonight, and 2 games have been postponed due to a cyclone. What's the name of the cyclone? 13 12 55 to register your interest. Speaking of cyclone, one man who's taken the media landscape by storm.
Oh, hasn't he? Absolute whirlwind.
He's everywhere. He pops up. I'm surprised he hasn't got a column in the West Australian. Well, I am not surprised. Simo, good morning.
That's not happening, of course. Yep, good morning. I'm in Melbourne, actually, at the moment, which is a little bit different. Caught the tram to the studios, which haven't done for a long time.
Yeah, we're back the clock, mate.
Yes.
What was it like? Tell me the whole experience.
Did you get held up? Did you get held up? Have you still got your wallet and watch?
I was not being an elitist or anything, but I was like, there's too many people on there for my liking. So I was thinking I could be sitting in an Uber right now, back of a Tesla, and I'm sitting with the common people. But no, it was actually it was a lot quicker, and I think I'll be doing it from now on.
Did anyone recognise you? Being honest,
no.
I can't believe you've been working with Goss for 4 weeks and you've already turned into him. There's too many people. Public transport I'm against.
I don't do public transport.
I don't like it. I should be in an Uber. This is unbelievable rubbish.
I said I could be in an Uber, not should be. Anyway, it was all good. All good.
How have you found, on a serious note, you come in here on Mondays and you were involved in Fox Footy on the weekend in the pre-season game. You did AFL 360 last night and you've done Waitley today. So that's it. That's a pretty strong media brief for you, Simo. To be honest with you, how are you? One, are you enjoying it or you're still finding your feet? And 2, is it dealing with the itch of not coaching?
It's a good fix, yeah. I got asked last night about the time away, but this is a good enough hit for me, doing a bit of media and connecting it to AFL is obviously part of the brief. So that, and then I'm uncomfortable, which I think is a good thing. Like it's out of your comfort zone, and I'm not a pro just yet, to be honest, and any feedback I've taken on. But, I think the content that I'm pushing out's okay, but just how I deliver it and all those type of things that you learn after many years, like you, Scotty and Goss, it takes time. So I feel like I'm a rookie. And it's early days.
No, you're killing it, mate, and we're loving it. Coxie, we heard from Dean Cox earlier that he's going to be a little bit edgy before his first game that's coming up, and he was a bit nervous about it all. How were you, mate, when your very first game as the boss in the senior coaches box?
Yeah, yes, nervous. Yeah, we had a good pre-season. I think we got Fremantle at a practice match when they just come off a grand final loss, and we were all excited and up and about. So we probably overdid the build-up for the pre-season game, but that helped. I think we won by 80 or 90 points. So that really helped the confidence levels of the group, and we were healthy. So we played the Bulldogs round 1. I played a video before the game. Imagine Dragons, Welcome to the New Age, I think was the song.
Yeah, good song.
And I put up all the highlights of pre-season or something. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't say a word, and the song finished and they all jumped out of their chairs. This is back at Subi. And the very first centre bounce, Pikey was our stoppage coach, and it was Nat Nui to Selwood to Kennedy goal, and he looked around and said, "Is that what you want?" Is that okay? From a stoppage coach point of view, and we had a really good win, and the crowd really got behind everyone, and so it was a really, really good day to knock over your first win in your first game, and I'm sure Dean will be going through. It's different for Coxie to just come off a grand final loss. There's probably more of a narrative to what he's gone through. He's been there for 7 or 8 years. It's a bit different than being. Minnie's going through probably what I went through a little bit, although I think I inherited a probably healthier list than Minnie has. But, Dean will go through his own little marginal gains. What do they need to get better at? He'll be looking at that. He speaks well, doesn't he, Coxie, in the media? I think he's very polished. He's always spoken well, but really impressed with how he's presented himself. And, look, I think they're going to win. I'm going to tip them.
Can you overcoach early?
You can overcoach late. You can overcoach all the time. If you're making more than 3 sort of moves in a quarter, you're overcoaching. If you're not backing in your system or you're you're sending too many messages down. We spoke to Waitley about events versus patterns. If it's an event, you got to let it go. And I think overcoaching is when you see one thing and you get on the blower and you go tell so-and-so. And you need to make sure it's a pattern before you make a move in the coach's box. And Dean will work through that, I'm sure.
I had the privilege of sitting in the Subi league coaching block with Scotty Goss, who coached a couple of years at St Kilda. Didn't work out for him in the end, but he always was a believer with his assistant coaches, and he had some pretty high qualified assistant coaches at the time. And I had the privilege of sitting at the back of the box where if something was going wrong, he said, "Don't tell me what's going wrong. Don't tell me what you can see. Speak when you've got a fix or you've got a remedy for it."
Yeah.
Is that good coaching? Is that what you do?
Give me the solution, not the problem. Yes, yeah. I think identifying something that's happened and then collectively you can work it out, especially if it's not your area, because most clubs have got a ball movement, team defence, stoppage, and then you got your mids, forwards and backs. So if someone has an opinion about someone else's area, as long as you've got permission, you can bring up, hey, what's going on with our backline at the moment? We're conceding whatever, and then the backline coach can work through that. But you'd love an answer if there's a problem. Absolutely.
Hey, Simo, how hard is it? And one of my things with coaches is, and coaches are really driven. They're really confident in what they are, the messaging they're trying to get across and the plan that they want to play. How hard is it for a coach to go, maybe, I don't know, you're a 6-week block sort of guy, your first 6 weeks. How hard is it for a coach to say, this isn't working, this isn't going exactly the way I want it to go, and this is not working against our opposition. We have to change a few things. How hard is it mid-season to say, tweaks needed, I need to change my mindset?
No, it's as long as you don't do it every week.
Yeah.
I think there's and I've just spoke about this with Jared's show about in the off season you'll have a plan about getting better at some small things, some marginal gains. What are the little things we're going to get better at? And if you haven't got better at those things by round 6, or the game's moved in a direction where, geez, we should have been focusing on that because that's where the game's going, you got to be honest enough to put your hand up to the leaders and go, look, I think we've pivoted the wrong way. We need to deviate this way because this is where the game is. And that's what I've been talking about. You get to round 6 and you can see some trends that where the game's going, and hopefully you've made the right moves in the off season. But look, sometimes I've been on both ends. I've been on the front end. Hey, we've changed sort of the direction of what's happening in footy, and also we've completely missed the mark with where the game's at.
One of your main men in your time at West Coast as an assistant coach was Adrian Hickmon. I heard Kane Corn say that he watched the Full Sweat documentary and was incredibly impressed with Adrian Hickmon. He said he'll coach a team in his own right. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, well, it's unique with Hick. And when you're looking at coaches, like there's 10 coaches on your staff, or maybe 8, depending on where you put your money. And if you get 8 of the same coaches, you won't get the diversity that you need from the coaching group. So Hick has got that unique structure in his coaching profile where it's deeper than just the X's and O's. So he gets deeply connected with his players, and there were stages there where we had, I think, at least 2 or 3 years. We said, listen, just get these 6 players right, and they were important players. Like Duggo was one of them back in the day. Liam Ryan, some of these guys that we just didn't think we were getting the best out of them, and he would take them on. He would take them to spaces that I would never take them, and they'd come out at the end. And they'd be best and fairest winners or top 3 or 4, and the first thing those players do is thank Hick for what they've done, what he's done for them. So to answer your question, yes, I think he's got the capabilities. He's done a ton of study, personal development, and he's now got the resume that probably sits him in a position where he can at least have a crack at a couple.
We got him over. We got him over at Swan Districts as a Colts coach and development. He's a very, very good development coach, which is what you need to be in AFL nowadays. Got the job of the Eagles, buggered off, didn't even say thanks. I'm off him.
He left his 2 boys at Subiaco.
Yeah, and just
very good
He
players.
did too.
Yeah.
He did too. I don't think he wasn't. Look, he loves WA. He's a surfer. He likes his fishing. He obviously likes playing the guitar. And he's not getting that at Waverley, put it that way. So I think he misses WA, but he's got aspirations, and yeah, good luck to him.
Yeah, you just never know where he might end up. Just a last one before we let you go, we get you on top tips, Swans and Hawks tomorrow night in GWS Collingwood. If you were coaching GWS and your star forward says, I broke my thumb on a bus, and I think we're reading between the lines, Adam Kingsley felt it wasn't just an accident.
It wasn't the toilet door.
How would you react? How would you react to that?
I think he's done. It's you're heading into round one. You can't. Look, the accusation. I think it was a question. It wasn't an accusation. What were you doing? Nothing. Okay, I believe you. So they got on with that. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the Giants. Can I change my tips?
Yes.
Because I think on Monday I tipped the Giants. But I just think looking at some of the personnel changes, and also they wouldn't have been happy with their preseason game. It was not going too deep, but just the turnovers. They kicked 2 goals to 11, and then the clearances, they got touched up by Carlton as well. And whatever they've been working on I haven't seen it in the off season. So to do it round one against Collingwood in a big game, it'll be interesting to see. Well, I'm going for the Pies.
Yeah, that a boy. They might have been going vanilla. Gosh, they might have been saying, "Oh, we want to play vanilla, not to show it."
You've overcooked that. You the explanation. He gave the coaches.
He didn't see anything in the pre-season.
He didn't have to try anything.
Stop it.
Just a quick one. Again, we talk about full sweat. We've talked about Sam Mitchell. Their second favourites, Hawthorn.
Are they?
Yeah, second favourites to win the flag.
Oh, really? Okay.
Gamble responsibly, Adam. But let me just say, in simple terms, there's no lack of confidence out of Hawthorn, is there? And it's led by their coach.
I've said this before. It's not the. It's everyone else is pumping them up as much as the way they play. I think you can see they're pretty confident, but I think everyone else is pumping them up. I don't think it's a Hawthorn thing at the moment.
Slides coming. I'm telling you.
Does it bring back memories, mate? Here it is. Is this the song that you use to provide some inspiration for your team?
It was.
Hey, thanks for enjoy the first week of footy. We'll see you Monday and we'll see you on the golf course.
Good on you, boys. Have a good weekend.
He's not going to be happy on Monday morning. I'm going to take him to the cleaners on the golf course. I'm telling you right now. You shut your mic off, mate. We go.
You're done, mate. You're done. Scotty and Goss, 25 degrees, heading for top of 39. The quiz and 7 at 7. Top Eagles, top